Welcome to the Northern Light Webcasting Network. We bring you Western Wisconsin sports via the internet. Stick around and get to know us.
Northern Light Webcasting Network, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking Pregame, a look at today's Colfax Viking boys game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to Colfax High School, where tonight we have the final Dunn-St. Croix Conference game of the season for the Colfax Viking boys, with a record of 12 wins and 9 losses, and they're 9-4 in the conference, as they will take on the second place Spring Valley Cardinals. The Vikings are attempting to lock up a second place finish in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. Rick Olson here, and soon I'll be joined by Dan Petchow as we're getting ready to bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Spring Valley Cardinals and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get the perspective from Coach Moss on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time for some high school boys basketball. All of that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're listening to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Did you know that some vaccines prevent cancer? I'm Dr. Bill Schaffner of the National Foundation for Infectious Diseases, and I want to talk to you about a vaccine that protects against the most common cause of liver cancer, the hepatitis B vaccine. Hepatitis B virus can stay silent in the body for decades before symptoms develop. Many adults need vaccination, including those up to age 59 with diabetes. To learn more, visit adultvaccination.org. That's adultvaccination.org.
Rick Olson back here at Colfax High School, where Dan Petchow and I are getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys Dunn-St. Croix Conference basketball game between the Spring Valley Cardinals with a record of 10-13 in the conference, and the Colfax Vikings, who have a 9-4 conference record, and they're 12-9 overall. In addition, it's senior night here at Colfax, where the seniors on the Viking roster will be recognized. Now, last Friday, the Vikings took care of business against the Boyceville Bulldogs when they defeated the Bulldogs 65-50. The Vikings were led in scoring by seniors Zach Rindy and Ed Hajdukovic, who scored 12 points each. In addition to Rindy and Hajdukovic, senior Cole Seehafer added 10, and juniors Noah Hydorn and Drew Gibson chipped in 9 points each. Going into this final game of the regular season, the leading scorer for the Vikings is Hajdukovic, who's averaging nearly 14 points per game. Seehafer is adding nearly 12 points per game, and Rindy and Gibson are each chipping in about 8 and 7.5 points per game, respectively. The top rebounder for the Vikings is Hajdukovic with nearly 8 boards per game. Now, Spring Valley comes into tonight's game with an overall record of 16 wins and 5 losses, following their 53-27 loss to Unity last Monday. The leading scorer in that losing effort was 6'1" senior point guard Aaron Borgerding, who tallied 6 points. The leading scorer for the Cardinals this season is Borgerding, who's averaging nearly 14.5 points per game. The Cardinals also rely on sophomore point guard Tyler Bowman, who's adding just over 8 points per game. Borgerding is also the leading rebounder for the Cardinals, pulling down over 6 boards per game. Tonight is also senior night here at Colfax, where the team will recognize the Viking seniors Zach Rindy, Cole Seehafer, Noah Albright, Tyler Hallquist, and Ed Hajdukovic, who've worked hard over the years for Viking basketball. Now, due to WIAA requirements that broadcasters be full-time in order to carry playoff games, tonight's game will be the final game of the 2019 and 2020 Viking boys basketball season that will be carried by the Northern Light Webcasting Network, and we're hoping to end our season on a high note. The Vikings are looking to place in second place in the conference. They're currently 1 game behind the current second place Cardinals, and a win would give the Vikings a second place finish, since the Vikings have already defeated the Cardinals once this season and therefore would have the tiebreaker. In addition, a win would be a great way for the Vikings to prepare for their upcoming tournament play, which begins next week on Tuesday when they host the Shell Lake Lakers. So we're looking forward to some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. But first, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Garrett Moss on Coach's Corner. You're listening to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
We're talking again with Viking boys head coach Garrett Moss. And, well, Coach, the Vikings are getting ready to wrap up the regular season. Last Friday, you knocked off the Boyceville Bulldogs 65-50. Your comments about that one?
Oh, we had a good team effort. We're a little shorthanded. We only suited up 8 players, and we had real good balanced scoring, and some younger guys stepped up that haven't had to in the earlier games, and it was a good team effort.
Now, in just a few minutes, the Vikings are going to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. The Cardinals are currently 10-3 and in second place in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, while the Vikings are 9-4, just 1 game behind. Is the chance to lock up that second place finish in the conference a motivating factor for the Vikings?
Oh, we just want to play well heading into the playoffs, and they're a very well coached team, and we were fortunate enough to beat them at third place. The first time around, and then also being senior night, we want to send our seniors off with a victory, hopefully.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that back on the 24th of January, you beat Spring Valley over at their place 53-42. What should we look out for the Cardinals?
Oh, Aaron Bordering, they go how he goes, and we did a really good job of keeping him to 6 points over at their place and making him earn all 6 of those points and making them shoot over the top of us. But they're a very dangerous team, and I'm sure they've had this date circled on their calendar, and plus they still have an outside shot to share for the conference title. So we're going to get their best shot, and we wouldn't want it any other way.
Now, who are some of the Viking players that need to step up to make a difference?
I'm hoping our seniors will step up, just keep elevating their game, especially with senior night. And, Noah Hydorn's going to be guarding the Bordering kid when he's in there. And, we'll need him to do an excellent job to limit his touches and make him earn all the points he gets.
Well, Coach Moss, good luck on tonight's game, and hopefully the Vikings will find a way to finish the regular season in second place and be prepared for that WIAA regional play.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah, that's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
You've been listening to Viking Pregame, with a look at today's Colfax Viking boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
Hi, I'm Amanda Pete. Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it was time for our daughter's immunizations, we wanted the facts. So we carefully researched vaccines. We spoke with doctors and other experts and asked some tough questions. We decided that vaccines were the best thing for our child. I urge you to get the facts. Learn the facts about vaccines so you can make the best healthcare decisions for your family. Thank you.
A message from the American Academy of Pediatrics and VaccinateYourBaby.org.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network, in conjunction with Colfax High School, proudly presents today's boys Colfax Vikings game. Join us as the 2019-2020 Vikings strive for success in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. And now back out for coverage of today's boys Colfax Vikings game.
Welcome to Colfax High School, where tonight the Vikings are taking on the Spring Valley Cardinals in some boys basketball action. That was the Colfax High School choir doing our national anthem. And we're going to send it right back down to the scorer's table for the starting lineups.
Who are our senior athletes. They will receive awards in recognition of their hard work, dedication, and outstanding contributions to Colfax High School basketball. Thank you for all you have done in the last 4 years. Thank you to Zach Krimby, Cole Seaver, Joe Albright, Tyler Holmquist, and Adela Hewlett. Welcome to tonight's Dunn St. Croix boys basketball matchup between the Spring Valley Cardinals and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the visiting Cardinals, the 6'4" forward number 2, Trevor Stengel. 5'10" junior number 3, Michael Hutter. 6'1" senior number 10, Eric Orling. 6'1" sophomore number 12, Tyler Owen. And a 6'2" forward number 10, number 25, Connor Duckle. The Cardinals are led by Coach Rob Bossart. And now the starting lineup for your
those are the starting lineups for tonight's game as presented by the scorers table. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petschow, and we're going to do the best we can tonight with a voice that's kind of limping along, and Dan's ready with all kinds of information to fill in the dead spots.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game tonight. 16-5 Spring Valley, 12-9 Colfax, number 2 and number 3 teams in the conference right now. So
it looks to be quite a battle, and the Vikings won the first matchup between these two. And the ball goes up, and it's tipped, controlled by the Spring Valley Cardinals. Stengel with it. Gets it off to the right side, down low. Being handled by Ducklow. They get it back out high to Borgeting. Over to the left side to Stengel. Out high to Bowman. They're getting everybody in on the action. Ducklow has it on the right side. Out to Stengel, then down low. Shot is on the way. It's a three-pointer, and it's good by Bauer. And the Vikings come down the floor. Hallquist with it. Coach Moss starting his 5 seniors tonight. Albright with it out high to Hallquist on the right side. He's high, wide, and right. Goes over to the top of the key to Rindy on the left. Goes to the free throw line. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it over to the right side to Hallquist. Hallquist gets it out to Albright. Now it's down to Rindy in the corner. Back out to Hajdukovic, then over to Albright. Back to Hajdukovic, down underneath to Seehaver, and he saved it inbounds. Back out to Hallquist, to Albright. Fake the three, hands it off to Rindy, driving in the lane, and he can't get it to go. And the Spring Valley Cardinals come down the floor. Bowman with it, hands it off to Ducklow, puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound by the Vikings. Hallquist with it as he comes across the timeline. Tries to get it across court to Hajdukovic. Ball gets tapped around. Finally picked up by Spring Valley in the lane. They get it out to Ducklow and then back down in the corner to Bowman. Puts up a shot. It's no good. Or Bauer, check that. And Hallquist has it for the Vikings. He brings it down across the timeline. Over to Seehaver, then to Rindy. Rindy at the free throw line gets it out to Hallquist. Over into the corner to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic to Rindy, drives the baseline, lays it up. It won't go in for him. And the Cardinals come back down the floor. Bauer with it, gets it out high to Borgeting, and we have no shot. And we're going to have a foul.
yeah, looks like foul on Zach Rindy.
Borgeting was trying to drive the lane, and Rindy got a hand on him. First personal, first team foul. First foul on anyone. Inbound pass to Bowman. Gets it to Bauer. Bauer out between the circles. He gets it over to Stengel. Now on the left side to Bauer. Over to the right side to Bowman. Bowman puts the shot up. It's no good. We have a foul on the floor.
Tyler Bowman trying to make a move on the baseline there, and
Hallquist got a hand on him before he got the shot off. So the Cardinals inbound it. Ducklow with it. Gets it over to the left side to Bauer. Now to Stengel down in the left corner. Back out high and then over to the right side. Three-pointer put up by Bowman. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Albright. Feeds it to Rindy. Drives into the lane. This time he lays it up and in. 3-2, Spring Valley on top. Cardinals come across the timeline. Stengel with it on the right side. Gets it over to the left side now to Borgeting. Back over to the right to Ducklow. Cross court pass to Bauer. Feeds it into the lane to Borgeting. And we have a whistle.
Kick ball, I do believe.
So Spring Valley to inbound it. Feed it into Bauer, who puts it up and good. About a 10-footer that time by Bauer. 5-2, Spring Valley on top. Rindy with a drive on the baseline, puts up a shot, partially blocked, and Spring Valley comes away with it. Quickly down the floor they come. Stengel with it. Feeds it into the lane. He takes it in, and good. That was Ducklow cutting through the lane. Stengel found him, and he laid it in. Hallquist with it at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the right side to Rindy. Now to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic drives over to the side of the lane. Tries to feed it underneath. We have a blocking foul being called on the Cardinals, and that's a foul on Ducklow. It's his first personal, first team foul on the Cardinals. Seahaver to inbound it. Gets it out to Hajdukovic. Then to Albright. He's out at the top of the key. Drives down the left side. Puts it up, no good. Gets his own rebound. Lays it up and in. 7-4. Vikings down by 3. 13:54 to go in the first half. Stengel has it on the right side. Gets it out to the free throw line. It bounces around. No good. That was a shot by Ducklow. Hajdukovic comes down the floor with it. Loses the handle on it. Nobody can find the handle, but now finally Cardinals come up with it. Borgerding brings it down the floor. Borgerding with a jumper in the lane, and it goes in. 9-4, Spring Valley on top. Hallquist across the timeline. Gets it over to the right side to Rindy. Albright with it, then to Rindy, or to Hallquist. He got it to Seahaver, puts a shot up, it bounces around and off. And down come the Cardinals. It's Borgerding with it, between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side, to Stengel. Back out high to Bauer. Over to Ducklow on the right. Cross court pass to Borgerding. Puts up a shot from outside the arc. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Hallquist. He feeds it out to Seahaver. Back to Hallquist, who brings it across the timeline. Getting it over to Rindy. Now to Albright at the baseline. Turnaround jumper goes up and in. No Albright. With 4 points on the night, it's 9-6. Spring Valley on top. Borgerding gets it over to Bauer on the right. Out high to Ducklow. Then into the lane to Borgerding. Borgerding feeds it out to Bauer. Three-pointer on the way. Rattles around. It does not go in. Hajdukovic with the rebound for the Vikings. Hallquist stops right outside the arc. Feeds it over to Rindy. Now to Albright in the lane. Gets it out to Seahaver. Puts a shot up and in. Cole Seahaver gets his first 2 points of the night. 9-8. Vikings have cut it to 1. Borgerding gets the ball tapped out of his hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, good job by Colfax to be patient, work the ball inside, take the 2 points on their shots, and get right back in this game.
Couple of substitutions for Spring Valley. We'll get their names as we get to them here. Borgerding gets it over to Bednarik. That's one of the guys that came in. To Stengel, back over to Bednarik on the left. Back out high to Stengel. Feeds it into the lane to Borgerding. He gets it out to Hannock. And we have a foul on the rebound. Hannock put a shot up, and we get a foul on the rebound. And I believe it's against Bednarik. It's his first personal, second team foul on the Cardinals. Vikings have it on the left side. Rindy drives in the lane, almost lost control, puts it up. No good, but he goes to the floor and was fouled on the way in.
Good job by Zach Rindy to make the move on the baseline. Get the foul.
Yeah, he took it through a lot of traffic, and then the traffic got a piece of him. So Rindy at the line for 2. First one's on the way. It's good. And we have another substitution for Spring Valley. Mayer coming in, replacing Bednarik. We're all tied at 9. Rindy with his second shot is on the way, and it's off. No good. Borgerding brings it down the floor for Spring Valley. Across the timeline, over to the right side. Out high to Hannock. feeds it over to Stengel, and now to Borgerding on the left, drives into the lane, feeds it out to Mayer, who then gets it over to, I believe that was Caleb Olson. It was Caleb Olson with the jumper, and it's 11-9, Spring Valley on top. Driving into the lane, we have no shot, as Hallquist was going into the lane, but he was fouled on the way in.
Yeah, good crossover dribble right there for Hallquist.
Charlie Mayer with the foul. Inbound pass comes to Hajdukovic. Gets over to Hallquist, feeds it to a wide open Zach Rindy underneath. And we have a timeout on the floor. We're all tied at 11 with 10:21 to go in the first half, and you're listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. And we're back here at Colfax High School. We're all tied at 11 with 10:21 to go in the first half. Spring Valley to inbound the ball. Borgerding brings it down the floor for the Cardinals. And across the timeline, gets it over to the right side to Stengel. Back out high to Hannock. Over to Mayer. And now to Olson. Between the circles, gets it to Borgerding on the left. Borgerding closely guarded by Rindy. Drives to the free throw line, into the lane, now kicks it out to Hannock, puts up a shot, no good, rebound taken down by Hallquist. And the Vikings bring it across the timeline, Rindy with it. Feeds it off to Albright at the top of the key. Loses his footing a little bit, but maintains the dribble. Gets it out to Hajdukovic, then to Seahaver, back to Hajdukovic, over to Hallquist. Hallquist between the circles. Looking for somewhere to go. Finally got it over to Seahaver on the right side. Seahaver down into the right corner to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic out to Albright between the circles. Over to the left side to Seahaver. Now it's over to the right side to Rindy, to Seahaver, back to Rindy, to Hallquist at the top of the key. Hallquist drives into the lane, now kicks it out to Seahaver. Puts up a three, no good. Rebound taken down by Spring Valley. Spring Valley down the floor. Stengel with it. They feed it to Olson in the lane. He kicks it out to Borgerding on the right side. Cross court pass over to Hannock. In the lane to Olson. Now out to Mayer. Now trying to get it to Olson in the lane. He's on the floor with it. We have a jump ball. And a timeout is called by the Spring Valley Cardinals. So we have a timeout on the floor, 8:33 to go. We're still tied at 11. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. This summer, the Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to bring you Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball with the Cavalier Game of the Week. Join us on Wednesday, April 29th, as the Cavaliers take on the UW Eau Claire Club team. And we're back here at Colfax High School. And Dan, that was actually a pretty smart play by the Vikings. Olson was laying on the ball in the middle of the lane. He would not have been able to get up without traveling. So if the Vikings don't force the jump ball, it forced Spring Valley to use the timeout. All right, they inbound the ball. They get it out to Bowman puts up a 3 and hits it. Vikings with the ball. Across the timeline. Rindy has it. Gets it out high to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic over to Heidorn. Heidorn out to Seehaver. Feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic. Now out to Rindy. Rindy a 3-pointer, and he hit the 3 from the top of the key.
Zach Rindy getting hot.
It's 8 points for Zach Rindy tonight. The ball's over on the right side to Bauer. He gets it out to Kottval. Back to Bauer. Then Kottval chases down a loose ball. They feed it to Bowman. Puts up a shot, no good. I checked that was Bauer. And down the floor come the Vikings. Albright with it. Gets it to Heidorn. Heidorn out to Hajdukovic. Drives into the lane. Puts up a shot. No good. Rebound. And we're going to get a foul being called, I believe, on Albright, who came over the back on the rebound.
Yeah.
And Albright takes a seat. That's Albright's first personal third-team foul, by the way. Down the floor come the Spring Valley Cardinals. Borgerding gets it over to the right side to Bauer. Bauer cross-court pass to Borgerding from the left. Puts it up, rattles around, and does not go down. Hajdukovic with that rebound. Gets it to Heidorn at the top of the key. They get it over to Seehaver. Try to feed it into the lane to Rindy, but the ball gets batted away by Spring Valley, and down the floor comes Kottval. He tries to make a layup, and it just got knocked right out of his hands and out of bounds by the Vikings. Tremendous recovery by the Vikings on that breakaway. Spring Valley inbounds the ball. They get it to Bauer, then out high to Bowman. Then Bauer with a 3-pointer, no good. Rebound being chased down by Borgerding. He's on the left side, feeds it into the lane to Ducklow. Now it's out high. Back to Ducklow at the free throw line. Ducklow gets it down into the left corner to Bauer. Now out to Bowman. And then to Borgerding. Borgerding at the free throw line. Gets it over to Bauer on the right. They try to feed it to Kottval. Got knocked away, but he chases it down in the backcourt. And he gets it over to Bowman, who brings it across the timeline. Kottval puts up a 3-pointer, no good. Rebound. Taken down by Drew Gibson. Rindy with it. Gets it to Heidorn. To Seehaver, back to Heidorn. Feeds it out to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic jumper from the free throw line. He hit it.
Good step back shot there by Hajdukovic.
And the Vikings now have a 2-point lead, 16-14. 5:18 to go in the first half. 3-pointer goes up. And good by Bowman. So it's now 17-16, Spring Valley. Heidorn with it at the top of the key, feeds it over to Seehaver. Now they feed it into the lane to Hajdukovic, and they got Hajdukovic with a travel.
Yeah, I thought he slid his foot a little bit there.
He took a little extra hop, trying to get everything under control. So Spring Valley with it, coming down the floor. Stengel with it, on the right side. He's high, wide, and right. Gets it out high to Ducklow. From the top of the key, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Rindy with it. Cross-court pass underneath to Hajdukovic. Check that, that's Gibson. Turnaround jumper, and it got knocked away by Spring Valley. And they come down the floor. Stengel with it on the left side. Gets it down to Bauer. Now it's back out to Stengel. Puts up a 3-pointer, and he hit it. Trevor Stengel with the three. 20-16. Spring Valley up by 4. Gibson with it, high, wide, and right. Takes it to the free throw line. Gets it out to Hydorn. Down low to Rindy. Out to Gibson. Over to Seahaver. Drives the left baseline. Overlays it, and Spring Valley comes down with it. Stengel with it. Gets it to Ducklow, then back out to Stengel on the right side. Bowman with it. Out between the circles. Feeds it over to Stengel on the right. Then into the lane to Borgerding at the free throw line. Gets it over to Ducklow on the right. And a three-pointer on the way is no good. Three-pointer by Stengel. And Hydorn with the rebound for the Vikings. He's at the top of the key. Gets it over to the right side to Seahaver. Feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic, who lays it in. 20-18, Vikings trail by 2. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Bauer feeds it into the lane to Borgerding. Then back to Bauer. Bauer lays it up. It's no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound for the Vikings. Hydorn down the floor. He's standing out between the circles, sliding over to the left side. He's now high, wide, and left. Cross-court pass over to Rindy. Back to the top of the key to Gibson. Now back to Rindy. To Hajdukovic. Back out to Seahaver from the free throw line. He hit it, and we're tied at 20. Spring Valley comes down the floor. This is Borgerding at the top of the key. He feeds it over to Bauer. Then out to Bowman. Bowman at the free throw line. Over to Bauer on the left side. To Borgerding. Curling into the lane. Tries to go up with it. And we have a travel being called on Borgerding. Kind of thought there was maybe a little bit of a hop there.
Yeah, he turned and he ran into traffic and must have slid his foot there.
Some substitutions coming in for the Vikings. Hallquist coming back into the lineup. And Hunter Reback is also in for the Vikings. Hydorn brings the ball down the floor. He's between the circles. Gets it over to the right side to Reback. Now to Gibson. Down into the right corner to Hallquist. Out high to Hydorn. Underneath to Reback. Lays it up and puts it in.
Great pass by Noah Hydorn.
22-20, Vikings on top. Borgerding to Bauer on the right side or on the left side. Now they get it out to Ducklow at the free throw line. Hands it off to Bowman, tries to drive the lane, does not get the shot to go. Rebound taken down by Reback, and he gets it over to Hydorn. Hydorn over to Hallquist on the left side. Down to Hydorn, and then to Seahaver. Out high to Gibson. Gibson gets it over. Well, back to Gibson. Back out to Seahaver, to Gibson. To Hallquist. To Hydorn. Hydorn at the free throw line. Feeds it over to Hunter Reback. Gets it over to Seahaver. Puts up a three, and he hit it. 25-20, Vikings on top. They feed it in the lane. We're going to get a whistle and a foul called on Reback as they try to get the pass into the lane to Ducklow.
Yeah, only 4 fouls for each team right now.
Albright coming in for Gibson. Hajdukovic came in for Reback. And the inbound pass is Stengel with it. Gets it down to Borgerding on the left side to Bauer on the left side of the lane. He gets it out high to Ducklow. Now Borgerding has it between the circles. Over to the right side to Stengel. To Bowman with a three-pointer, and he hit that three-pointer. 25-23, Vikings on top.
Colfax will play for one shot here.
Heidorn to Hallquist on the left side. He dribbles it between the circles. Now he takes it into the lane. Feeds it out to Seaver. Puts up a three and he hit it. Cole Seaver. And we have a violation on the inbound pass. It appears as though Bauer stepped in bounds before releasing the ball. So it's a turnover with half a second left.
It's going to have to be a quick tip, but it can be done.
So the Vikings will inbound it, and my belief is that we are probably going to have a 28 to 20.
We did get it off.
They did get the shot off, but we're at halftime, and the Vikings have a 28 to 23 lead over the Spring Valley Cardinals. Coming up at halftime, we have Viking Profile, followed by the Colfax High School Report, and all of that is coming up right after this brief timeout. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Oh no.
If your car has had an oh no experience, whether it's from a deer, another vehicle, or any other cause, be sure to see the hardworking people at Morgan's Auto Body in Colfax. Mike Morgan and his staff are ready to get your car right again. The staff at Morgan's Auto Body are ASE and iCar certified technicians, and they can get your car looking like new. That's Morgan's Auto Body in Colfax. Call them at 715-962-3559.
We'll be referring to a Spice Girls mix. Please welcome your Colfax varsity dance team.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Drew Gibson, a junior at Colfax High School, and we'll be chatting with Drew right after this message.
We are the boy band your tween made you see. We are the boy band. It's Painful Concert number 3. We are the boy band. We're 5 and 19. We are the boy band. Always singing on key.
You love your kids enough to take them to see their favorite band. Love them enough to make sure they're buckled up in the back seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We're talking with Drew Gibson on Viking Profile. And Drew, we know you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities at school?
I'm involved in baseball, FBLA, NHS, the drama club, and that's just about it.
Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience do you have?
I started playing basketball in elementary school. I was more of a baseball guy, but yeah, there's not as much of an atmosphere in Colfax for baseball, so I switched over to basketball, and I've been playing AAU for a couple of years, and it's really been a great experience.
Well, that baseball season in Colfax is a spring season, and it's often cold and wet, and you've got snowballs as often as you have baseballs, so I can understand why basketball might have won out here. What's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
I think especially this year that it really is a team game, and it doesn't matter how many points or rebounds you have, but what really matters is we're getting W's every night.
So when you're not playing basketball or at school, what are some other things that you're interested in that keep you occupied?
I just really like keeping in school things and FBLA, competing in that. I like doing public speaking in that. I like singing outside of school and being involved in the musicals.
All right, I've got a few rapid-fire questions for you. Just throw the first thing that pops into your head. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Which kind?
Chocolate chip.
Homemade or store-bought?
Homemade.
The ones your mom makes?
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming over to your house. All right, what's your favorite color and why?
Red, because it reminds me of bright and like bright things.
Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
I would definitely fly places, just because it would be really convenient and really cool.
Now, your favorite NBA team?
Minnesota Timberwolves.
And your favorite college basketball team?
Minnesota Gophers.
And I'm not going to ask you about baseball or football because I know where you're going with those. We're talking with Drew Gibson on Viking Profile. And Drew, what are your plans for after high school?
I'm planning on attending UW Eau Claire and going to further my education, and planning on teaching middle school, elementary.
And how about a shout out to your family?
Shout out to my mom and dad and my grandma and everyone else.
Okay. Thank you, Drew Gibson, for being with us today on Viking Profile, and we've got more of Viking Halftime coming up right after this.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me, I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Time for the Colfax High School Report with an update on what's happening at Colfax High School.
This past week at Colfax High School, the Bloomer Colfax Wrestlers competed in the WIAA Division II sectional tournament in Osceola last Saturday. At 113 pounds, Luke Blanchard finished in fourth place after defeating Wyatt Dimmich by a technical fall and then defeating Braden Glasspool from Washburn by a major decision before losing to Thomas Oswald of Osceola by a close 9-6 decision. At 132 pounds, Sawyer Best advances to the WIAA state tournament by becoming a sectional champion after defeating Mason Eckler from Barron by a technical fall, then defeating Jason Church of Medford with a 7-0 decision, and he followed that with a championship victory over Jordan Kennard of Amory 8-6. At 152 pounds, Bowen Rothbauer also advances to the WIAA state tournament by becoming a sectional champion after defeating Aaron Diamond from Ashland with a 12-1 major decision, then defeating Peyton Koska from Regis Altoona with a pin at 5:56, and then getting a championship victory over Carter Hupert of Ellsworth with a 6-1 decision. Finally, at 160 pounds, Mitch Harmon was defeated by Jaden Anderson from Gale Ettrick Trempolo Melrose Mendoro by a pin at the 5:15 mark. The WIAA state tournament begins today and runs through Saturday. Both the boys and girls basketball teams were busy last week with 2 games each. The Viking boys led off the week Tuesday the 18th when they were defeated by the Durand Panthers 78-59. The Viking girls also saw action on Tuesday when they were defeated by the Melrose Mindoro Mustangs 59-39. The girls got right back into action on Thursday the 20th when they concluded their regular season schedule by trouncing the Spring Valley Cardinals 82-30. The boys wrapped up the week on Friday the 21st with a 65-50 victory over the Boyceville Bulldogs. That leaves the boys with a 12-9 overall record and 9-4 in the conference, which puts them in third place in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, one game behind second place Spring Valley. The girls ended the regular season as undefeated champions of the Dunn St. Croix Conference with a perfect 14-0 record. Now, coming up at Colfax High School, it's March Madness. The girls Vikings basketball team begins their WIAA regional play tomorrow when they host the Shell Lake Lakers. Time for that regional semifinal is at 7 p.m. The Viking boys will begin their regional tournament run when they host the Shell Lake Lakers on Tuesday, March 3rd. Game time for that regional game is 7 p.m. Now, should the Vikings continue to win, the girls' sectional games are slated for Thursday, March 5th and Saturday the 7th. The boys' regional action continues on Friday, March 6th with the regional finals on Saturday, March 7th. The high school solo ensemble will be Monday, March 2nd in Glenwood City. And that's what's happening at Colfax High School. This has been Rick Olson reporting.
You've been listening to the Colfax High School Report with an update on what's happening at Colfax High School. The second half of Colfax Viking basketball is coming up.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings have a 5-point, 28-23 lead over the Spring Valley Cardinals. Dan, tell us about the scoring.
Yeah, here's the scores for Colfax tonight so far. Cole Seahaver leads the team with 10 points. Zach Rindy's got 8. Noah Albrecht's got 4. Ed Hajdukovic got 4. And Hunter Reebok's got 2. For the Spring Valley Cardinals, their league scorer is Tyler Bowman with 9. Mike Bauer is 5. Trevor Stengel has 3. Aaron Bording has 2. And Connor Ducklow has 2.
Okay, and the possession arrow is in favor of the Vikings to start the second half. We got the kind of game we thought we'd have. We were expecting a close one, tough battle, and that's exactly what we've had so far.
Yeah, Spring Valley, or actually Colfax has done a great job keeping them on the outside, making them shoot some threes. Colfax has found their way in. They got more jumpers and two-pointers.
And as Coach Moss said, Spring Valley kind of goes as Borgerding goes, and the Vikings have kept Borgerding down to 2 points in the first half. That says a lot for what the Vikings have going on.
Yeah, Spring Valley's tried to work it inside, and Colfax has done good to bottle it up and make them kick it back out, and they've had to take some errant passes and shots.
So the Vikings inbound the ball to Hallquist. He takes it across the timeline. Gets it over to the right side to Rindy. Cross-court pass over to Albright on the left. Gets it up between the circles to Seahaver. Back over to Rindy. Rindy over to Seahaver, driving the left baseline. Now kicks it out to Hajdukovic. To Albright at the top of the key. Now over onto the right side to Hallquist. Back out to Albright from 3. No good. Rebound battled for. Taken out by Spring Valley. Stengel with it, across the timeline to Borgerding, feeds it underneath to Ducklow. He can't find anywhere to go, gets knocked loose out of his hands, and the Vikings come away with it. Hallquist brings it across the timeline. They get it over to Rindy, who feeds it to Hajdukovic, who tries to slam it home, and he got rejected by the rim. Spring Valley brings it down the floor. Borgerding has it between the circles. And we have an offensive foul being called against Spring Valley with an illegal pick. And that's on Ducklow. It's his second personal. First team foul on the Cardinals this half. Hallquist across the timeline for the Vikings. Gets it to between the circles to Albright. Albright takes it to the free throw line, now down into the lane. Gets it back out to the free throw line. Pass gets knocked away. And it's loose on the floor and goes out of bounds. It was off Bowman for Spring Valley, so the Vikings will have it. Hajdukovic inbounds it to Hallquist. Tyler brings it across the timeline. Comes down the left side. Gets it over to Albright at the top of the key. Tries to pass it into Hajdukovic, who couldn't quite find the handle of it, and it goes out of bounds. Spring Valley has the ball. Bauer gets it into Borgerding. Borgerding takes it across the timeline over to Bauer on the right. Out high to Bowman. Then over to Borgerding, back to Bowman. Now they have it down underneath to Stengel. Now to Borgerding, puts up a three. It does not go, and it goes out of bounds. Vikings ball. Albright thought about trying to grab that rebound, but it was a little bit out of his reach, and good thing he didn't, because it probably would have been out of bounds off of him.
Yep.
Hallquist passes it off to Hajdukovic. High, wide, and right. Drives into the lane, puts up a jumper, partially blocked. Spring Valley with it. Feeding it down the lane to Stengel, lays it up. It does not go in. Hajdukovic gets the rebound. Gets it to Hallquist. We're going end-to-end now. Hallquist on the left side. Tries to feed it into the lane. Ball got tipped, and Spring Valley has it. They feed it to Ducklow on the right side. Gets it out to Bowen. Puts up a three, and he hit it. 28-23, Vikings on top. Albright with it on the right side. He's going to pass it over to Seahaver. Fortunately, Seahaver was able to find it again. Gets it out to Hajdukovic. Puts up a shot from the free throw line. No good. Spring Valley with the rebound. They come down the floor quickly. Bauer with it. Gets it out to Bowman. To Borgerding in the lane. Feeds it out to Stengel. Now they feed it into the lane to Borgerding. Tries to lay it up, and it goes in. And we are tied at 28.
Spring Valley making a little run right now.
5 unanswered points for Spring Valley. Hallquist with it in the lane. Gets it out to Seahaver. Seahaver over to Albright, who thought about a shot, took a giant step, but didn't take the shot, still on the dribble. Gets it over to Hallquist on the right side, puts up a three, no good. Rebound fought for in the lane, and we have a jump ball being called.
Ball stays with Spring Valley.
Hydorn into the lineup for the Vikings, replacing Hallquist. Bednarik coming into the lineup for Spring Valley. And Borgerding brings it down the floor for the Cardinals. Takes it down the right side, feeds it back out high to Stengel. Over to the right side to Borgerding. Now to Ducklow, tries to drive into the lane. Gets it out to Stengel. Over to Bauer from the left corner. Puts it up, no good. Rebound. Vikings have it. Seahaver feeds it off to Hydorn, who brings it across the timeline down the left side. Gets it to Rindy. Rindy tries to drive the baseline, pulls up a jumper, and he hit it. 30-28, Vikings on top. First points of the half for the Vikings. Borgerding feeds it over to Stengel on the right side for Spring Valley. Cross-court pass out to Borgerding. Borgerding turns around in the lane, thinks about putting it up, does not, gets it over to Bauer on the left corner, puts up the shot, and we have a whistle, and we have a foul being called on Ducklow. That's Ducklow's third personal foul.
Yeah, Ducklow's not happy about that one.
Second team foul on Spring Valley. Rindy to inbound it. And he gets it to Heidorn. Heidorn comes right through the center circle. Over to Hajdukovic. They're on the left side to Rindy. Out to Seehaver. Tries to feed it into the lane to Hajdukovic, and the ball got knocked away. Hajdukovic was triple teamed. That was probably not a good idea to try to make that pass. And Spring Valley, Borgerding tries to get it over to the left side, and the ball got knocked out of bounds by the Vikings, so Spring Valley maintains possession.
Yeah, good job by Noah Albright to break that up, knock out of bounds, and just give Colfax a little breather.
Speaking of a breather, Albright's going to take one, and Gibson comes in. Borgerding feeds it over to Bednarek. He's got it high, wide, and right. Now they get it into the lane to Borgerding. He backs out. He's at the top of the key. Drives down to the free throw line. Gets it over to Olsen, who puts up a shot. It's no good. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Vikings will have it.
Good defense by Colfax on that possession. Made him take a errant long shot and get the turnover.
Heidorn comes through the center circle. To Rindy. Over to Seehaver, back to Rindy, and ball gets tipped out of bounds. Vikings will keep it. And the ball comes in to Heidorn. He's got it between the circles. Goes over to the right side to Gibson. Gibson back out high to Heidorn. Drives down to the lane. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. Vikings will have possession. Heidorn was trying to pass it over to Seehaver, and Spring Valley tipped the ball out of bounds.
Colfax still trying to work it inside. Chip away on some two-pointers.
Bowman comes in for Bauer for Spring Valley. They get it out high to Heidorn. Over to Rindy. Back to Heidorn. Now to Seehaver. Back out high. And I think Rindy got fouled on his way in, but it was before he put the shot up.
Tyler Bowman, I think, on the foul. Yep.
Yes, it was. And it's his first personal. Gibson has it on the left side. Feeds it out to Heidorn. Heidorn passed it over to Hajdukovic, but Coach Moss wanted to talk things over. We have a timeout on the floor. 11:48 to go in the game. Vikings 30, Spring Valley 28. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
The Colfax Messenger has covered the happenings of Colfax and the surrounding area for over 120 years. No one cares for Colfax like the Messenger. Readers get the most current news, sports, and feature stories about the people and places of Colfax. Also, the Messenger is your one-stop source for all your printing needs. To subscribe to the Colfax Messenger or receive a free quote on your printing needs, call the Messenger at 715-265-4646 or visit them online at www.dewitmedia.com. The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to be carrying Cowboy semi-pro football for the 2020 season. Join us Saturday, April 18th, as the Cowboys take on the Washington County Venom.
And we do have a correction on that. They aren't going to be playing the Washington County Venom on the 18th. They're going to be playing the St. Paul Pioneers on April 25th. Vikings inbound the ball. Gibson has it between the circles. Gets it over to Seehaver on the left side. Feeds it to Heidorn, and a shot from the free throw line. And he got fouled going up. And the foul is on Olsen. It's his first personal, fourth team foul. on Spring Valley. Heidorn with his 2 shots. First one's on the way. It's good. 31-28. And Heidorn's second shot is on the way. It rattles around and out. So the score remains 31-28. Vikings on top. Stengel with it for Spring Valley. Gets it over to Bowman. Bowman cross-court pass to Bednarik. They feed it down underneath to Olsen, lays it up and in. 31-30, Vikings up by 1. 11-13 to go in the game. Seahaver feeds it to Rindy. Back to Seahaver on the left side. Now out to Hajdukovic. To Rindy, tries to lay one up from the lane, no good. Rebound taken down by Spring Valley. Bednarik with it. Gets it out to Bowman, to Stengel. Over to Borgerding on the right. Borgerding feeds it into the lane, now back out to Borgerding. He's high, wide, and right. Feeds it down to the baseline, and we have a whistle and a foul being called on Gibson. That's Gibson's first personal. First team foul on the Vikings.
Yeah, I just grabbed him a little bit when he came through.
Albright comes into the lineup. Gibson takes a seat. Spring Valley inbounds it. Borgerding has it on the baseline. They feed it out to Olsen. He puts up a 3, no good. Rebound taken now by Heidorn. Feeds it out to Albright. Takes it down the right side. He's high, wide, and right now. Loses it off his knee, but gets it back. And now we have a whistle. And I believe it's a foul on Olsen. Yes, it is. Got him with the body. That'll be Olsen's second personal, 5th team foul on Spring Valley. Seahaver inbounds it to Albright. Albright over to the right side to Rindy. Feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic. Puts a turnaround jumper up, no good. Rebound taken down by Stengel. Gets it over to Borgerding. Feeds it down low to Olsen, drives into the lane. Now kicks it out to Stengel on the right side, puts up a 3 and he hit it. Spring Valley retakes the lead, 33-31. Heidorn across the timeline to Albright. Albright takes it down the left baseline, puts it up and in.
Good job by Albright.
And we're tied at 33. Feed it down the baseline now, Spring Valley does to Olsen. He backs out. He's outside the arc now on the right side. Over to Bednarik, back to Olsen from the top of the key. Shot is no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Heidorn with it. To Albright, back to Heidorn, and he brings it down the floor. He's picked up right away by Bednarik. Out high to Albright. Pass to Hajdukovic, and we're going to get a jump ball called. The pass was actually intercepted by Bowman, or caught simultaneously by Bowman and Hajdukovic. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Seahaver to inbound. Out to Hajdukovic. He gets it out to Heidorn. Long feed to try to get Hajdukovic as he was coming in. Kind of one of those alley-oop passes. Didn't make the connection, and Spring Valley has the ball. Bowman with it. Out to Stengel. Over to Borgerding, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul called on Hajdukovic. They fed it to Olsen underneath, and Hajdukovic reached over him. Or at least that's what the officials saw.
Yeah, just getting a little extra aggressive there.
First personal on Ed Hajdukovic. Second team foul on the Vikings. Borgerding with a three-pointer. It's no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound, and the ball gets knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. And they're going to award the ball to Spring Valley.
I don't know about that one.
From up here, it was pretty clear the ball got punched out of Hajduković's hands.
Yeah, must have went off his knee or something. Yep.
All right, the ball comes into Borgerding. They get it down underneath to Bauer, to Olsen, along the baseline, turn around, put it up, and it goes in. 35-33, Spring Valley on top, 8:13 to go in the game. Heidorn with it at the top of the key. Gets it over to Hajduković. Ball gets tipped out of his hands. Rindy driving the baseline, ball got knocked out of bounds. Oh, they're going to call a foul. A foul on Borgerding as Rindy was driving the baseline. Borgerding reached through, knocked the ball out of bounds, and they got him with the foul. It's his first personal, 6th team foul. That could be critical because from this point on, Vikings will be shooting. Hajduković out to Heidorn. Now it's over to Seehaver. Back out to Heidorn at the top of the key. Drives into the lane. Gets it out to Albright on the left side. Now back out to Heidorn. Heidorn ran into someone. We have a lot of contact and a rugby scrum on the floor.
Probably a jump ball.
It is going to be a jump ball. Possession arrows in favor of Spring Valley.
Colfax is being a little timid right now. They have to attack it the rest of the game.
Borgerding with it as he comes down the floor across the timeline. They left him alone. He comes down the right side. Cross-court pass over to Olsen. Puts up the three, and he hit it. Or check that was Bauer. Mike Bauer with the three-pointer. That's 8 points for Bauer tonight. Heidorn with it. 5-point lead right now for Spring Valley. Vikings feed it into the lane. Ball gets tipped and knocked away, and Spring Valley has it. Stengel gets it out to Borgerding between the circles. Over to Bowman on the left. To Bauer at the top of the key, over to Borgerding on the right. Cross-court pass over to Bowman. Down to Bauer in the left corner. Bauer out to Bowman between the circles. Back over to Bauer from the left side. Puts up the three, no good. Rebound taken by Spring Valley. And we're gonna get a foul being called on Albright. Kind of looked like he tied him up to me. Albright didn't believe the call. That's his second personal, 3rd team foul on the Vikings.
Foul, but a little aggressive there. That's good.
Borgerding with a shot from in the lane. It goes in. 7-point lead now for Spring Valley. I believe that's their biggest lead of the night. Down the floor comes Hallquist. Or check that's Heidorn. Over to Gibson. Now Heidorn on the left side. Gets it back out to Rindy. To Hajduković. Tries to feed it to Rindy. Ball gets knocked away by Spring Valley. And down the floor they come. Bauer with it. Back out high to Borgerding. Out to Stengel. Stengel down to Bauer in the left corner, or right corner. Back out high to Olsen from three, and he hit it. 10-point lead for Spring Valley, and they're on top 43-33, and Coach Moss wants a timeout. So 43-33, 5:45 to go. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
What makes Hometown Pharmacy different than the big chains? People. When you walk into Hometown Pharmacy, you'll see friends and neighbors on both sides of the counter.
We come to Hometown Pharmacy because they are also very knowledgeable and helpful.
We may not be on every corner, but chances are we're in your hometown, or we'll be there shortly. And we care about you. Hometown Pharmacy, our family caring for your family.
Stop by Colfax Hometown Pharmacy in downtown Colfax. Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living.
That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380. And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings are trailing by 10 now. 43-33 to the Spring Valley Cardinals. Vikings have the ball, 5:45 to go in the game. Heidorn brings it down across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to Seahaver. Over to Gibson on the left. Gibson gets it out to Heidorn. Over to Hajdukovic. They swing it around to the right side. Seahaver. Back out to Gibson to Seahaver from 3. No. Rebound by Spring Valley. Long pass to Bowman. Feeds it down underneath to Olsen. Olsen with a jumper in the lane. It does not go in. But we have a foul, and Olsen's going to go to the line for 2. The foul is on Rindy. It's his second personal. 4th team foul on the Vikings. Olsen's first shot is good. 44-33. Second shot is off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Hajdukovic with the rebound, gets it to Heidorn, comes through the center circle. Noah Heidorn out to Gibson, and they're going to say Gibson took a step before he put the ball on the floor. That's something the Vikings cannot afford to be doing at this point in the game.
Yeah, Spring Valley's kind of triple teaming Ed Hajdukovic right now, and somebody's got to step up for Colfax.
So Borgerding between the circles gets it over to the left side to Bowman. To Olsen on the right, to Borgerding in the lane. Puts it up off the glass and in. 46-33, Vikings trail by 13. They've hit a scoring drought. Heidorn to Gibson on the right side. To Hajdukovic. They feed it into the lane to Rindy. Back out to Hajdukovic. To Heidorn. To Rindy. Rindy out to Heidorn. Heidorn drives into the lane. Now gets it out to Rindy. Shot is no good. Rebound chased down by Gibson. Or check that. That's Hajdukovic. Puts up a 3 and he hit it.
Good job, their senior.
That's something the Vikings need, is take the cover off the rim. 46-36. They've cut it to 10. Stengel with it, tries to feed it underneath. Ball gets batted away, but picked up by Spring Valley. And pass is intercepted, but stepping out of bounds was Heidorn. So Spring Valley maintains possession.
Good job by their senior Ed Hajdukovic to step up there in the last possession.
Borgerding inbounds it to Bauer, to Stengel, into the lane to Borgerding, puts up the shot, no good. Gets his own rebound, tries to go up, and they're going to get, I think, Heidorn with the foul. Nope, Rindy with the foul. That's the third personal on Zach Rindy. 15 foul on the Vikings, and Borgerding goes to the line. Borgerding is a 66% free throw shooter. First one's on the way and good. And the second shot's on the way, and it's also good. 48-36. Spring Valley on top. 3:40 to go. Vikings need to make a run. Here comes Rindy. Feeds it out to Seahaver. Puts up a shot from in the lane, and he got it to go. And down the floor comes Spring Valley, and they're not in any hurry. They feed it over to the left side to Bowman. Out high to Stengel. To Bauer. To Olsen on the left. High, wide, and left. Then gets it over to Stengel. On the left. Back out high to Borgerding. Over to Bauer. To Olsen on the right. Back out to Stengel between the circles. Pass gets batted away by the Vikings, but recovered by Spring Valley. Stengel has it. Over to Bauer. Spring Valley's willing to just pass the ball around. Stengel has it on the right side. Cross-court pass to Olsen on the left. To Bauer in the left corner. Cross-court pass over to Stengel. Feeds it out to Bowman. Bowman drives into the lane, puts up a shot. It goes in. 50-38. Down the floor comes Heidorn for the Vikings. We have an offensive foul being called on the Vikings. And Coach Moss wants to talk things over. Timeout on the floor, 2:12 to go. Spring Valley 50, Vikings 38. And you are listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow back at Colfax High School. 2:12 left in this one. Spring Valley with a 12-point lead, 50-38. And they have the ball. Bauer inbounds it to Borgerding in the backcourt. Comes down the floor, picked up in the backcourt. Gets it to Bowman. Over to Bauer. Back over to Stengel. Now to Borgerding into the lane.
Colfax is going to...
And the Vikings intercept the pass. And they get it to Hallquist. Brings it across the timeline. Drives into the lane. Feeds it out to Heidorn. To Hajdukovic. Three-pointer on the way. Rattles around. Does not go in. And we have a whistle and a foul. And I think we're going to get Hallquist with climbing the back.
Spring Valley's in the bonus. This will help with the clock a little bit for Colfax.
Gibson checks in for Hallquist. And Bauer at the line for the 1-and-1. First shot's on the way, and it does not go in. Heidorn with the rebound. Brings it down for the Vikings. Gets it to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic feeds it out to Gibson on the left side. Out to Rindy between the circles. He's double-teamed it. Tries to get it to Gibson, and the ball gets tapped away by Spring Valley. Ball goes out of bounds off of Spring Valley. Vikings have it.
Colfax is going to have to try to get the ball inside and maybe do a little inside out, get a couple threes here, and try to get back in it with 1:22 left.
And I notice Spring Valley's double teaming the ball out high to prevent that three. Seahaver with a three-pointer, and he put it in from the left side.
Nice double screen
Cut
there.
it to 9.
Got to follow him pretty quick here.
And here comes Borgerding over the timeline. Feeds it off to the left side to Bowman, back to Borgerding. High, wide, and left. Down to the left side to Bowman. Down underneath to Olsen. And he had a wide open layup and kicks it back out to Stengel. To Borgerding, and he gets fouled.
Yep, kept the clock running.
Heidorn grabbed a hold of Borgerding, putting him to the line.
Still 1-on-1, so not double bonus yet.
First shot's good. 51-41. Just under 50 seconds remaining. Second shot's on the way, goes off the iron, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Gets it to Rindy. Rindy drives the right baseline, and the ball gets tapped out of bounds. It was intended for Seahaver, but tapped out of bounds by Bowman. Hallquist into the lineup for Gibson.
Colfax will run a set play here.
Inbound pass got tipped by Spring Valley. And they've got the ball. The clock working in their favor. Borgening has it, but he got fouled by Rindy. Gave him a little pat on the backside. Kind of a don't take it personally.
Yeah, Spring Valley has got a chance here to make some free throws and stretch the lead here.
That's the fourth personal on Rindy. 9th team foul. Borgening's first shot is good. And the second shot is on the way, and it's also good. 53-41. Vikings have it. Hallquist with it, drives into the lane, lays it up, it goes in, and they're going to count it, and there's a foul on Bowman. So Hallquist will go to the line to shoot the free throw. Hallquist is an 83% free throw shooter.
Yeah, good job of Hallquist to get to the hole, get the and one.
And his shot is on the way, and it's good. Vikings trail by 9. And Coach Moss wants to talk it over. So with 25 seconds to go, you're listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In addition to being your hometown newspaper, the Colfax Messenger is also your one-stop shop for all your printing needs. The Messenger provides full in-house design and full-color printing services for copies, business cards, letterheads, envelopes, pamphlets, brochures, books. They can even do posters up to 13 by 30 inches for your events or benefits. Call the Colfax Messenger at 715-265-4646 or visit dewitmedia.com.
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings trail by 9, 53-44, just under 25 seconds remaining in the game. Spring Valley has the ball.
Colfax is going to have to follow quick.
Inbound pass to Borgening, and the Vikings are trying to follow. The officials aren't calling it. Borgening gets it across the timeline, gets it over to Stengel. Now they got the foul called. 15.2 seconds remaining.
Spring Valley will be in the double bonus now.
Seahaver with the personal foul. That's his first personal. And like Dan said, 10th team foul on the Vikings. Bowman's first shot is on the way and good. Tyler Bowman, a 71% free throw shooter. Second shot on the way, and it's good. 55-44. Albright with it, top of the key, drives into the lane, turn around, lays it up, no good. Rebound, Hajdukovic, and it does not go. And that's going to wrap it up. There's the buzzer. Final score, Spring Valley Cardinals 55, Colfax Vikings 44. And we are going to have Viking postgame coming up in just a minute or so. That final score, once again, Spring Valley 55, Vikings 44. You've been listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to be carrying Cowboy semi-pro football for the 2020 season. Join us Saturday, April 18th, as the Cowboys take on the Washington County Venom.
You've been listening to Colfax Viking basketball, live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking postgame with a look back at today's game.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair? Or...
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Time now for Viking postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. And now, Viking postgame.
Well, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, and we're waiting to see if Coach Moss comes up tonight. I'm not 100% positive he will be. This was kind of a disappointing loss for the Vikings, 55-44 to the hands of the Spring Valley Cardinals. Vikings finish their conference season with a record of, is it 10-5? 9-5. 9-5, and the regular season, the overall record, 12-10. And so it is a winning record, and they've got to get ready for the playoffs. But Dan, why don't you fill us in on who did what tonight?
Yeah, here's their scores for Colfax Vikings. Their leader was their senior number 10, Cole Seahaver. He had 15 points, followed by Ed Hajdukovic with 7. Noah Albright had 6. Taylor Hallquist had 3. And I forgot Zach Rindy up there. Number 5, Zach Rindy had 10 points, with Noah Hydorn with 1 and 2 with 2. For Spring Valley Cardinals, their leading scorer tonight was their sophomore, number 12, Tyler Bowman. He had 16. Aaron Borderding had 12. Caleb Olson had 10. Mike Bauer had 8. Trevor Stengel had 6. And Connor Ducklow had 2.
Well, I don't see Coach Moss yet, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give him a couple of minutes here, or we're going to give him a minute or so, and we're going to take a brief timeout, and then we'll be back, and maybe Coach Moss will be here, maybe not. But you're listening to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Open calendar. What's my schedule looking like?
Next Thursday, you will be caught in an emergency flash flood between Park and First Street.
What? No, that doesn't work. I'm busy then. Decline. Decline.
Floods don't exactly work around your schedule. Disasters don't plan ahead. But you can. It starts with talking to your loved ones about making an emergency plan. So don't wait, communicate. Visit readywisconsin.wi.gov. Brought to you by Ready Wisconsin, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Spring Valley knocking off the Vikings by a score of 55-44. And Dan, to me, it was a tale of two halves. In the second half, the things that have been working for the Vikings just didn't seem to be working in the second half. And they weren't able to penetrate. Every time they penetrated, they had to go through, it looked like 6 to 8 different arms of Spring Valley's, and that ball was getting tipped every time they either tried to pass or shoot or inbound. Anything they tried to do, Spring Valley was getting at least a finger on the ball.
Yeah, and I noticed a little bit in the beginning of the second half, Spring Valley went from man defense to zone. Colfax just couldn't find their way inside. They had just a few looks on the outside, and you're not going to win very many games doing that.
Well, and that was the other thing that Spring Valley did, that in the latter part of the game, when it was clear the Vikings were going to have to use the three-point shot, and they've got some good three-point shooters, but when it was clear that they were going to have to put up the three, all of a sudden Spring Valley's double-teaming the ball out high and not giving them those three-point looks.
Yeah, and Spring Valley they had 9 three-pointers. Tyler Bowman had 4 of their three-pointers tonight. So, Colfax did a great job in the first half getting the ball inside and moving the ball around. And, I don't know, they just kind of almost got a little stagnant there about halfway through the second half, and just couldn't make anything fall in the rim.
Well, coming up next week, the Viking boys aren't done by any stretch. They've got regional action coming up on Tuesday. They host the Shell Lake Lakers right here at Colfax High School. We won't have the game, as we've mentioned before. We're not doing any of the WIAA playoff games, but
so you'll have to come out.
They'll have to come to the game. The Viking boys begin their WIAA regional action when the boys host Shell Lake Lakers Tuesday, March 3rd, and that game begins at 7 o'clock. Don't forget that the Viking girls are starting their regional action tomorrow night. Right here at Colfax High School when they take on the Shell Lake Lakers. And again, that begins at 7 o'clock. And again, unfortunately, we will not be carrying that game. We want to remind you that Colfax Viking basketball is brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. The Colfax Animal Hospital, trust your pets to Dr. Buckley and his staff. Morgan's Auto Body, where after an oh no moment, they can make your car right again. Colfax Messenger, for over 120 years, keeping you informed about what's happening in the Colfax area. Colfax Hometown Pharmacy, their family caring for your family. Kyle's Market, where customer service is supersized. Now, be sure to thank those sponsors of Colfax Viking basketball right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Yeah, and just remind everybody for the rebroadcast, if you missed a part of tonight's game or know someone who would like to hear it, tonight's game will be rebroadcast right here on the Northern Lights Webcasting Network on tomorrow, beginning at 12 noon. Also,
that's a different time than we usually do it, so make note of that time. It's at noon tomorrow. And we're doing that so that fans can get over here and watch the girls play tomorrow night.
Yeah. Also, coming up this spring and summer, we're going to have Cowboys football. The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that for the second year in a row, we'll be carrying the Cowboys semi-pro football from Eau Claire. Games begin Saturday, April 18th.
No, it's April 25th. Cowboys will be taking on the St. Paul Pioneers that day.
April 25th will be the first one. When the Cowboys play, do we know yet?
Yeah, it's the St. Paul Pioneers.
Okay, it's going to be St. Paul Pioneers. So check out the website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for complete schedule information. Also, our big deal this year, we are going to be covering Cavalier baseball. The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that this summer we will be carrying Eau Claire Cavalier baseball with a Cavalier Game of the Week. Games will begin on Wednesday, April 29th, when the Cavaliers play the UWEC club team. Also, check out our website at northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for complete schedule information. That's going to be fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. It's a good thing. We're done with basketball.
Wow. We went from football.
That went fast, though.
It did.
That really went fast. Holy cow. And
I think this winter went a lot faster than last winter.
Well, we didn't have snowstorms every other day in
Good
February
point.
like we did last year. But we got to get through March yet. There's a reason they call it March Madness, and it isn't totally about basketball.
That's right.
But I've had a lot of fun doing this with you, and we're going to keep it going with some baseball and some football this spring and summer as well. And so,
we'll be on the road.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of great stuff. So you guys make sure you stay tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network. We'll have all kinds of sports action for you from the local side this summer as well. And hopefully back here again next fall for Viking football.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So for Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson. Final score once again, Vikings drop one to the Spring Valley Cardinals by a score of 55-44. You've been listening to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
What if I could tell you that a full-blown wildfire was going to occur tomorrow right where you live? Tell you exactly which neighborhoods it would engulf and how fast it would do it. The first thing you would do is talk with your loved ones and make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a wildfire will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you make a plan anyway? Visit readywisconsin.wi.gov and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by Ready Wisconsin, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
This summer, the Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to bring you Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball with the Cavalier Game of the Week. Join us on Wednesday, April 29th as the Cavaliers take on the UW Eau Claire Club team.